Hi everyone, going live this morning doing psychic soul readings. I've had a post on my page for the last 24 hours asking people to put their photos and questions on there. This is my first time, well, I had a bit of a practice yesterday, but this is my first time really at doing this, doing lots of readings on Facebook, so bear with me. I'm really thrilled to have this opportunity to read for you guys. This is wonderful for me. I'm really all about giving service and being present for my brothers and sisters on the planet. So I love the opportunity of being able to do this and to connect with you. So I've gone through all the photos and the questions, and I've allowed myself to be drawn to some particular questions, and so I'm going to be answering those online. I wanted to just say before I start doing this that, even if your question's not being answered, this is a wonderful opportunity for you to listen to the answers of other people and perhaps learn something that you didn't know that you needed to learn. When I was doing my spiritual training, which took me years, by the way, I spent a lot of time reading other people's session transcripts of their sessions with teachers and gurus and guides, and I learned a lot from reading other people's transcripts of their sessions. So I'm hoping that in the answers that I give to everybody here today that I'm going to read for, that you find some little piece of information that you needed to know for yourself that really resonates with you. You'll know when that happens. You get that sometimes. Do you get that? I get a tingling feeling down my right leg, pins and needles, when I know I'm really spot on about something. So maybe you've got some sort of communication that happens to you when you know that something is meant for you, that kind of synchronistic moment when you know that the information is just for you. So I've written a couple of things down here. Bear with me, and I'm going to put my glasses on because I am 60 years old, so I'm blind. So this is not just about you having curiosity about the answers to other people's questions, is what I wanted to say. This is about you learning some stuff for yourself. Now, lots of people ask me about my process because everyone that does this psychic stuff does it differently, and so I just want to talk to you about how I do it. It spent me years coming to this point. I actually come from a family of really psychic women, so I grew up with all that. Nobody in my family did readings or earned any money for their psychic awareness, but they always had precognitive dreams. My mother and her sisters had precognitive dreams and visions and all sorts of things, saw dead people. So I grew up with all of that, but I didn't think I was psychic. And I spent years getting educated at university, and I spent years working in the health field. I spent 22 years as a teacher. So I've done a lot of other things in life, and it was only in the later part of my life that I chose to use my psychology studies at university to do counselling and life coaching and start to work with people in that way. And I was also a careers advisor, so I have a graduate certificate in careers counselling, so I was one-on-one career counselling people. And it was only in that process of working one-on-one with people that I realised that the information I was giving them wasn't just coming from me, it was coming from somewhere else. So, I see myself as I could describe myself as being clairsentient and clairvoyant, because I get feelings and impressions and then I have to interpret those into words. That's not always easy, by the way, so bear with me if I sometimes choose not quite the right word, because that's a bit of a skill in itself. I'm clairvoyant, so I see images, and the other thing that I do is channeling. And so for a long time I have been having an energy coming into the right side of my body when I'm meditating or when I'm doing readings, and that energy is very palpable. It's pressure, it's tingling, it's warmth, it's communicating a love vibration to me. And I know that when that energy is there, that I'm connecting with the goddess Ma'at. Now, the goddess Ma'at was the Egyptian goddess of truth, justice and harmony. And when I found out that it was her that was connecting with me, I was thrilled, because my whole life I've been about truth and justice and harmony. So it really resonated with me. So But I'm not an unconscious channel, I'm a conscious channel. So sometimes you may notice when I'm doing a reading that I close my eyes and I'm really connecting, and that's a real channeling moment. So I bounce backwards and forwards from being in my ego construct personality as Reea and being in that Mart energy, and yeah, that's how I work. And that's how a lot of channelers are working now. We've gone past the days when we just had trance channeling. And that's because we've been asked to awaken and to empower ourselves and to understand that all of us have the ability to channel. We are channeling all of the time. When you're in a very focused moment, you might call it being in the zone, or being creative, playing a musical instrument, writing something, painting, doing some artistic thing, even working in the office, when you're really focused on finding solutions, you are actually channeling. And the person or the being that you're channeling is usually your higher self. So, you know, we're all doing it. It's not woo-woo out there, like really weird, strange. I can understand people's reticence about it because it does sound weird. But let's remember that all of the Bible was channeled through prophets and teachers, and they wrote down, supposedly, God's word. And the same with the Quran. The Quran was channeled by Muhammad when he was sitting in a cave with a blanket over his head. So channeling is not something new, it's not strange, and it's actually a very normal way for us to operate. So bear with me. Now I'm just going to say hello to whoever's here. I have to put my glasses on to do that. Hi Stacey, hi Belinda, hi Tasha. Thank you for being here online with me. It's great to have you here. Now, I hope this video lasts, and I've had some internet connection problems, so I hope it doesn't fall out. So we'll see how we go. Okay, let's get on to doing some readings. Now, what I've got here is I've got people's pictures on my iPhone, because that's what I do, and that's how I tune into your vibration. I'm very visual, so when I have a photo of someone, I find it really easy to tune into that person's energy and bring through information, and I do a lot of that. That's why I'm really good at doing readings by email online, and people are so thrilled by the responses that they get, because I can tune into photos. So here, I put my old lady glasses on. Okay, so I'm going to go through these, and I've already had a bit of a squeezy at them. So I'm just going to pick some photos of people that I really connected with, and do some readings for you for those people. Okay, so this first question is for Julianne. You posted on my page, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Julianne has a career question, and she says that she is not feeling the love about her work and her job. So I want to really tune into Julianne just for a moment and respond to that question. Julianne, as I'm tuning into your photo here, what I'm picking up on is, honey, you're a really nurturing energy, really pragmatic, really down to earth. You're a giver. It doesn't surprise me at all that you've been working in a caring capacity, because your energy naturally lends itself to that kind of work. You would find it easy to take care of others. What I'm getting is that you don't find it so easy to take care of yourself, and you're doing what I call eating the burnt chop. That is putting everyone else before yourself, and any crumbs of anything that's left over, that's what you allocate for yourself. And what I'm hearing now from your guides is that they don't want you to continue doing that. It's time to stop doing that. You are coming to a point of power in your life, and I know that you already know this, that it's time for you, and it's time to do something that you feel passionate and inspired about. So the reason that you're not feeling the love with this job that you're currently doing is its contract is run out. You're at the end of the time there. It's time to move on. You're quite right. And you knew that. That's why you've asked this question. It's time to move on and do something else. Now, having said that, it is easier said than done, because we still live in third dimensional reality. So we still have to pay the bills. We still have to put food in our mouths. We still have to be grounded and realistic. There's no good having guidance from spirit that tells you, oh yeah, leave your job, go off and do blah, 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 if you can't pay your bills at the end of the day, and it's going to bring up a lot of fear for you. So I'm dead against that kind of shit, really. Okay? So what I'm going to say to you is that give yourself some time. You don't have to finish this job right now. You're going to finish when it's exactly the right time for you, but you need to prepare to do something else. Now, what I'm picking up on as I look at engage with your photo here and just tune into it. Hang on a minute. Is that you are still going to be doing something that has a very caring resonance, or where you are helping others, but it's in a very different way than the way that you've been doing it now. I really feel like it's time for you to step up and empower yourself. That's the clear message that's coming through today. And to do something that actually makes you feel more confident and better about yourself. Because I feel that you, to some degree, have given your power away for a long period of time, and that you're very unhappy with that status. So what you need is, I'm feeling actually that you may begin to move into a more self-employed kind of thing, but I don't want you to jump out of your job and straight into something. What I feel is that you're going to gradually build that up to be something. I'm getting consulting. I think that what you're going to be doing is something a little bit more where you have more power and control over it and working for yourself, but something very similar to what you've been doing now, but at a different level, and something where you have more control over it. So look into ways that you could actually be self-employed or run your own business, or have more power and control over what you're doing than just being the carer. Okay, it's time to step up. Now, I think that even this next thing that you're going to do is just a stepping stone onto something else. You know, don't think of your career as something that you're going to have for the rest of your life, and that's for all of you. We don't live in a world anymore where people get one job and stay in it for the rest of their lives. I was a careers advisor for nearly 20 years, right? So what we're looking at now is we're looking at multiple streams of income and different jobs that we find satisfaction in. Doing one job for 40 hours a week is really old energy and really boring as batshit. Oh my God, who wants to do that anymore? We don't want to do it, right? And we're women, so we can multitask and we can do many, many, many things. And this is what you've got to think about doing, honey. So doing many things. All right. Hi, Karen. Hi, Jessica. And Kylie. Hi, Kylie. My gorgeous Kylie. All right. So let's go on to the next question that I've got here. I'm just going to flip through these. Okay, Adrian. Adrian wants to know, will my partner and I be having a rainbow baby this year? What a great question. Sweetie, just let me tune in. Okay, so Adrian, what I feel coming through when I tune into your energy is a little bit of disparity in your energy. You really, really, really want to be a mum, and you really want to have a baby, and you really want to have a baby with your partner. I get that. There's a deep love and affection between the two of you. But there's a little bit of lack of self-confidence coming through, and I think that you'll find that there's a few beliefs or fears stuck in your vibration that are going to prevent you from conceiving. So the reason that you haven't conceived, they're telling me right now, is not because you can't. It just wasn't the right time for you. And remember that your daily life is your work, because it is what is making your consciousness expand. You are growing and learning from the life that the universe presents to you and how you respond to that. And so every day of your life you are learning and growing and changing and becoming someone different. So what you're working on at the moment is becoming a vibrational match for that role as mother, which is a huge role. You know that. And once you pop the baby out, you can't put it back. So it will happen. Let me just focus on this a little bit. It's going to happen in the next 12 months. That's what they're telling me. But it really depends on how well you've been going with your work. And you really need to take this guidance on and really do as much as you can about digging around inside your own unconscious mind and looking for those places where you feel fear and anxiety about the role of mother and yourself as a being, and how you trust yourself and your potential to care for someone else, because that's what it's all about. Okay, let's move on. Hi, Wendy. Okay, let me have a look and see what we've got here. That's my little dog barking. So, a question, an answer for Dale. Bella, stop it. Sorry. A question for Dale. Bella, come here. Shh. A question for Dale. Dale says, I've been going through a lot in the past few months and I'm a mess. Beautiful question, Dale, by the way. And as I tune into your energy, what I'm getting, darling, is that you're just feeling really overwhelmed at the moment. I feel like you've really lost track of who you are, what you stand for, what your life purpose is, and what your gifts and abilities are. I feel like you've been through a period of time that is really challenging, quite lonely in a lot of ways. I feel like no emotional support around you and that sort of thing. And when you get in that kind of state, it's really easy for the doubts and the fears to come up out of our ego selves. So what I'm going to say to you, this is, darling, that you have a much better year ahead of you, but you've got to make that work for yourself. You have to create that better year for yourself. You need to change your energy up a little bit. Now, you can change your energy up by doing a lot of things. Going on a holiday, engaging in some new activity, making some new friends. I hope you can hear me above the dog barking. So there's many ways that you can change your energy. Changing jobs, changing houses, but it doesn't need to be that drastic. So this is what I think you need. I think you need your energy to be changed up a bit. You need someone to pat you on the head and say, honey, you're wonderful. You've got lots of great stuff going for you. You need to work on your own self-confidence and self-esteem. That's an area for you. They're telling me that really that you get caught up in. And I feel like you're not very good at reaching out to help for others. And so it may be time for you to do that. Bella, stop it. I'm just going to go and get her. Hang on, I'll be back. Stop it. Okay, I'm back. She was barking because somebody put balloons on my veranda. She's barking at the balloons. Here she is. Say hello. Hey, that's Bella. Okay, so let's move on. Hi, Chiara. Is it Chiara? Oh, Ruth's there. Hi, Ruth. Okay, let's move on. Rachel, did I have? Yeah, Rachel. This is a reading for Rachel. She says she's been single for a long time. Honey, this is a question I get asked a lot, and I'm going to put it right out there to everyone. Say, I'm single. I haven't been in a relationship for a long time, okay? And the reasons why we're single at the moment are many and varied. It's not all the same reason, okay? So the reason that you are single is I feel like you've been really, really, really hurt in the past, and you haven't released that hurt. That pain is still there. There's a lot of wounding, disappointment, and being let down. And, of course, what all that does is it really messes with your beliefs about men. And when you hold a belief about something, that's what you're going to create. Our expectations create our reality. So if you believe that men are shits and they're untrustworthy and they're going to let you down, that's what happens. Now, I don't think it's quite that drastic for you as I tune into you. It's not so much that you believe men are shits. That's probably some of my stuff. I think for you that it's just, I hear you saying, how could he do that to me? So I think it's just this incomprehension about how people who are supposed to love you can treat you in such a bad way. And what I want to say to you about that is, they didn't do it to you, darling. They just did it because that's who they are. Jesus Christ treated everybody with love, if you believe in Jesus Christ. Supposedly, those avatars, the Buddhas and the beautiful people on our planet, they treated everyone with love and gentleness and kindness. And so if you're not doing that, if you're being horrible to people, it's because you've got that horrible stuff inside you. So it's about who you are, not about who the other person is. And women often get tripped up with this whole issue of trust. They say, oh, my trust was betrayed, so I find it very hard to trust someone ever again. And I totally understand that, but what you have to understand is you can't trust anybody in the way that you're thinking of it. Because who is it that you can trust that is never going to hurt you? Is it your mother, your brother, your sister, your child? Now, believe me when I say that all of those people have betrayed my trust. And I don't hold it against them because they were being who they are and they were doing the best that they could at the time. It just wasn't good enough for me and it wasn't what I needed or what I wanted. But that doesn't mean to say I don't love them and I can't forgive them. I do, of course. The only person you can really trust is yourself. Now, you may not want to hear that. It's horrible to believe that on some level, but I actually think it's really liberating, because I know I can trust myself to take care of myself and respond to anything that comes up, no matter what happens. I trust myself. It doesn't matter what relationships I get into and what people do in that relationship, not do to me, but do in that relationship. It doesn't matter what they do. I've had enough life experience and I've got enough wisdom that I know I can respond no matter what happens. And the beautiful thing about getting old and wise is that you've had so many experiences, you know how to respond. And you don't always have to respond with suffering and pain and deep trauma and taking it on and letting it wound you. There are ways of not doing that, which I can teach you if you're interested in learning. So, sweetie, just getting back here. Rachel. Just hang on, Rachel. Just let me tune in. Rachel, I'm being told that the potential for you to have a relationship is very, very strong. And it won't take you much time when you release these wounds and when you change some of those beliefs. A good way to do it is to sit down with a piece of paper and say, I am now, repeat an affirmation. Like, I am now in the perfect relationship that is for my highest good. And then on the next line under that, write down what comes up out of your unconscious as a response, because, your inner voice is going to go, oh, no, I'm not. Oh, bullshit, fuck off. No, that's not happening. No, that's never going to happen. Whatever that thing is that comes up, just write it down. Don't judge it. Just write it down underneath your affirmation. Now, write that affirmation down over and over again, maybe 50, 70 times. Keep writing that affirmation down. And underneath it, keep writing what comes up out of your unconscious. And just let it be stream of consciousness writing. Don't judge it. Don't analyse it when you're doing it. Sit so that you're not going to be interrupted, and just do it. Now, when you've done it, look back over it and see what beliefs have come up out of you that are preventing you from having that loving relationship, because that's what will come up. And then you'll be able to see it for yourself, written on the paper in front of you. This is what's stopping me from manifesting the beautiful, loving relationship that I deserve. Honey, you deserve to be loved. You're a beautiful person. You've got so much to give, and you've tried very hard to do the right thing all your life, they're telling me. And so I know that relationship is out there for you. It definitely is. Do not give up hope. Don't think it's not coming. It is. You've got to do the work. Okay. How are we going? Christina. Hi, Christina. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. A reading for Monica. Monica says that her father passed in 2012, and when he did, so did half of her die. And she's never really got over the grief of losing her dad. She says everything stopped and nothing moved forward, only backwards. So what do I see for her in 2017? So Monica, I'm just going to rest that there. Monica, as I tune into your picture, honey, your photo, I'm feeling there's a beautiful, beautiful being inside there. You're not only physically a very beautiful woman, but there's a beautiful goddess energy inside you. And they're telling me lots of power, a fairly old soul, and very capable of creating lots and lots of stuff. Your perceptual orientation is both internal and external, which means that you're very good in the external world and very good at creating things and manifesting things, but you also have a fairly deep inner life. Now, the reason that I'm being told why you're having such trouble getting over your dad is, I don't want to freak you out by this, but you actually, in past lives, he was your partner. You've had many lifetimes with your dad. He's part of your soul family. And there is a particular lifetime where you were actually partners, I'll say partners, in a loving relationship with each other. And he left you for some reason. So it feels to me like one of those lifetimes where the guy goes off to battle and goes off to war and leaves the woman at home. I think he was a male in this lifetime and you were a female. And he went off and left you at home, and he never came back, and you pined for him for the whole of your life. Now, what you've got to remember is there's no past, present, and future. In spirit, all time is now. I mean, I'm a past life regression therapist. and I call it past lives, but it's not past lives. It's other lives. It's other focuses. So what you've got to understand is that some of those other focuses or other lifetimes can be greatly impacting on the life that you're having now and the experience that you're having now, because it's happening now in your multidimensional self. So this is what you're feeling. You're not just feeling the grief of having lost your dad in this lifetime. You are feeling the grief. So the grief of losing your dad in this lifetime has attracted the vibrational match of the grief that you're feeling in that other lifetime for having lost your soulmate, your partner. He's one of your soulmates. You probably know that already. So, what to do about this? Awareness is the first key. Understanding that it's not all just about what happened in this lifetime. Understanding your own power. That was a bug, by the way. Understanding your own power as a multidimensional consciousness to be able to connect with those other lifetimes. You could do that in a meditation. Sit down in a meditation and try and connect with that other lifetime. Now, if you find this difficult, you can find somebody that can help you do that. I think it would be very good for you to do past life regression. If you're around the Gold Coast, I'm happy to do that for you. But if you're not, go find someone in your local area that can do past life regression with you, and go back to that lifetime and connect with your partner in that lifetime, because even though you go back to a past life, remember, we can move you to different stages through that life. So you might land in that life at a particular stage. You may be a teenager, you may be a young woman, you could be a child. And as the past life regression therapist, what I do is I facilitate you moving through that life. So we can move you back through that life, and you can find connections with your dad that you need to heal. And I think that would be very good for you. But, you know, if you're very intuitive, you can do it in meditation. So give that a go, honey. And, you know, grief is grief. And we think in third dimensional reality that, you know, you're supposed to just get over shit straight away, especially when boyfriends or lovers or husbands leave you. Everyone says to you, yeah, just get over it, move on. There's plenty of other fish in the sea. What a load of shit. Grief is grief. Loss is loss. And you go through it at your own pace, and you're out of it. You know, you're through it and out the other side when you're through it and out the other side. And it's individual to everybody. So don't let anyone tell you that it's not okay to grieve. It totally is. I feel like you've not processed this grief properly because of this other lifetime. And once you connect with that other lifetime, you'll be able to process this grief better and let it go, because there's a real feeling of not a confusion in you about what all these feelings are and not really being able to sort it out. So I think that's really going to help you, honey. Okay. Glasses again. Let's keep going. Okay, I had a question from Belinda. Where's Belinda's question? Belinda also has a question about, hi Lexi. Belinda also has a question about her mother passing. Her mother passed 4 years ago, and she's still hurting over her mother passing. So here's another example. It's not always the same answer, right? So, Belinda, what I've got to say about your mum passing is that the part of you that is still grieving for your mother 4 years after she's gone, even though you're a mum and you have a child, I see in the photo that you sent me, the reason that you're still grieving is that the part of you that is grieving is the little inner child in you. Now, remember, when things happen to us in childhood, trauma, hurt, all those sorts of wounds that happen in childhood, a part of us fragments off and stays stuck in time and space as that little person. And I feel that you have fragmented childhood aspects that need healing and integration back into your whole consciousness. And the part of you that is grieving and hasn't gotten over your mum is the little girl part of you. The woman part of you is quite capable of taking care of yourself and your daughter and living your life and doing all the things that you need to do. But the part of you that is still grieving for mum and is having trouble letting her go is the little girl part of you. And that little girl part of you, for some reason, doesn't think she can take care of herself. And I'm not sure why. You'll probably be able to understand that better. But that little girl part of you picked up some negative beliefs along the path somewhere from life experience as a child. There's a fragility to you. That little child feels vulnerable and fragile. So you might likely be someone who is familiar with feelings of anxiety and fear in your life as a general theme, and you need to heal that. Now, you can do that with age regression. That's how I handle, I'm a hypnotherapist, so that's how I handle healing of anxiety and fears from childhood, age regression. You go back to your childhood, you go back to the initiating events that started the feeling, and you restructure those events, you change those memories, you give that child the resources that they need to deal with that situation better and change their understanding and belief about it. You teach the child everything they need to know, you give them the lessons, you go back and you do what we call childhood rescue. You rescue your little child self. So it's that little child self that needs to be healed in order for you to get over the grief of your mum, sweetie. So good luck with that one. Okay, moving on here. Who else have we got? How are we going? Great. Okay. Okay, we've got Katrina. Hi, Katrina. Katrina says, I've got so much going on in my life and I don't know where to start, but I'd like to know about relationship, business, and financial. Okay, so Katrina, as I'm tuning into, I'm just going to make your picture bigger. As I'm looking in your eyes here, as I'm tuning into your energy here, what I'm feeling is huge potential in you. You're actually, again, someone who can create very well and manifest things very well, but you don't always know what you want, and you're splitting your energy. When you keep jumping from one thing to the other, not really knowing what it is you want, and I think for you that comes from having lots of passions and lots of interests and lots of desires. There's nothing wrong with that, but you have to whittle them down and be focused about them. And when you keep jumping from one thing to the other, then you're splitting your energy into all of those many things instead of 100% putting your energy behind one manifestation at a time. So that's my advice to you. Whatever it is you want in business, finances, relationship, or whatever, you've got to put your energy 100% into it and really focus on that thing. Be very clear about what you want and remind yourself every day what it is you're creating. You have huge capacity to be successful in career and business. The sky is unlimited there. That's what they're telling me. You can do anything you want to do. You've got a very, very clear business mind. You can be very focused, they're telling me now. You can be very focused, but there are many times when you're not. That's the problem. Look, I feel you going on and developing business for yourself in a very beautiful, successful way. I believe that over the next 12 months, you're really going to find that your creations really turbocharge themselves and you really hit lift off. You just need to be more focused about it. That's what they're telling me. You just need to be more focused about it and have complete faith in yourself. I feel like, 80% of the time you do have faith in yourself, but you tend to lose it. So you go into moments of lack of confidence, and that's what's holding you back. As far as love and relationship goes, my darling, I've got to tell you, you're searching for Mr. Right for now, not Mr. Right, okay? You are someone who's going to have many relationships over the course of your lifetime. I'm sorry if that's not what you want to hear, but that's the truth of it. There's nothing wrong with that. From Spirit's perspective, this whole thing where we marry someone and stay married to them for the whole of their lives, honestly, Spirit thinks that's a heap of crap, okay? Why would you stay with someone unless it was happy, it was fulfilling you, and helping you to become the best person that you are, right? And we often stay in relationships way past the point where our contract has completely run out because of some third dimensional reality belief that when we get married or we get in a relationship, we're supposed to stay with that person forever. It's bullshit, okay? So you are someone, darling, who's going to have many relationships over the course of your lifetime. You have many relationships still to come. I know you've had several already. And there is nothing wrong with that, because remember, your life is about you. It's not about the man you're with. Your life is about you. And your life is about you fulfilling your life purpose and growing and expanding your consciousness and stepping into your power and becoming all that you are. Now, when you find a mate or a partner who's prepared to walk by your side and assist you with that, or is walking by your side and assisting you with that for a little while because he's got something very important to teach you, then take that, be grateful, and then, move on. So I do feel another relationship coming up around you, and I'm going to say it's not very long. Okay, they're telling me within the next 3 months you're going to have met somebody, and you're going to be in a relationship. And what do we call a relationship now? Relationships last from, a couple of months to many, many, many years. You know what they say, relationships are for reasons, seasons, or lifetimes. And I totally agree with that perspective, and that's what I get from the goddess Ma. That's very much what she teaches. So, relationship coming up for you very soon, and it's going to be great. So, good luck with that one. Okay, all right. Time for one more reading, and then I'm going to have to go. We don't want to make this too long. Okay, let me continue on here. Let me see what we got. Okay. Who's on here? I'm wondering if I'm there. Oh, darn. I can't read that. Sorry, I'm just reading through these questions here, which is what I wanted to not really do, really. Okay, all right, I'm going to go back to one of the questions on here that I haven't read. Okay, so let me just have a look. Nope. Nope. Okay, Sarah asks a question about a job. She's saying, will I get the new job? Sarah, as I tune into your energy here, what I've got to tell you is that there is a job out there for you, and it's going to be coming very, very soon. I feel that you have times where you lose your self-confidence. And you can be all fired up about getting a job and do all the right things and put your best foot forward, and then all of a sudden you go into a bit of a slump and you get despondent. That's perfectly normal when you've been unemployed for a while. I used to work in the employment industry. Okay, I was an employment consultant and a disability management consultant. So I know that when someone's been unemployed for a long time, it causes them to get anxious and depressed and all that stuff. And I feel you're doing a little bit of that. Just be careful of that. It's not too much, but you need to understand that you are creating your own reality again here, and that your energy is affecting the outcome of what you're doing. Now, I feel that there's a job that you've applied for recently that is a very good vibrational match for you. Let me just tune into that a little bit better. Yep, and I feel that you're going to be hearing from them fairly soon. Employers sometimes take a long time to get back to you when they've got a lot of applications, all sorts of things happen in business. So don't despair, my darling. I feel in the next 6 weeks you're going to be getting a job offer of some kind. So good luck with that. I hope that works out well. Okay, everybody, I'm going to finish up now. That was wonderful. Bella says goodbye. And I've had a lot of fun today reading for you. I hope you've enjoyed it too. If I didn't get to your question, don't despair. There's lots of options for readings on my page. I'm doing readings by donation now, and lots of people are taking advantage of that. For those that are really legitimately financially strapped and you're in trouble and you need a little bit of guidance, have a look at that. It's on my page. And you can get readings for email. I've got a Facebook special on at the moment. You get 3 questions answered photo reading for $49. So that might be something that you want to consider doing. There's all sorts of options. I'm going to be back on the Gold Coast tomorrow for a few days. And I'm doing a few readings up there. So if you're up there and you want to contact me, go right ahead. Love to hear your responses and how your readings went for those people who got a reading today. Much love and blessings, and thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Bye.